Comic book fans, and welcome to another suddenlycomics.com video. It's a Monday night, it's the prize variants, and our regular review of the top Silver Age comics of the week. Over on Alan's channel, we looked at Amazing Fantasy 15 yet again. We looked at Amazing Spider-Man issue 1, but it was the golden record one. But he did put in a couple of oddballs, which were quite interesting. Anyway, much more interesting stuff on this channel. You're going to see me get very excited later on. Right, so I'm going to switch over to share the screen. How are you, Alan?
Good.
Well, I'm ranting. Okay.
You're already ranting. We haven't even started yet.
That was the one we showed on Alan's channel. What a surprise. Right. What are we showing here? Okay. Oh yeah, well, I like showing this one. I've actually got this one. So that is a horrible copy. I have to
really
say,
horrible copy.
Why the hell is that a 1.5? I mean, it's mold. Look at the mold here. It is.
I know it's a really rough copy.
I do not think that is a 1.5.
It looks like it's missing a pretty big chunk in the corner and missing a big chunk there. It's just like, wow.
Oh, it's got black mold on it.
Yeah, no, this is not a good copy. Like, it is a one. Well, I'd say it's a 1.5. It looks like a 1.5. I mean, parts of it actually are quite sharp.
Well,
parts.
The colors are right.
I didn't say the whole thing.
You know, if you
the Flash and Wonder Woman,
just look at those three characters there and Starro, you're okay.
The rest is really rough. But this is, the first appearance of the Justice League. And just a really nice key comic. So Brave and the Bold 28.
Yes.
And it sold for $1,260.
Yes. Which I think is low, but I think it's low because it's a horrible copy.
It is a little bit low. Not super low.
Okay, let's go and have a look at a 1.5. There we go. 1.5. Oh, it's not super low, no. It's low.
Yeah.
But it's, for me, that's because it's such a horrible copy.
Yeah, that mold might kind of freak a few people out.
Yeah.
But if you look, actually, this is an interesting one. And part of the reason I chose this one was when I saw the trend line, I was like, oh, that's a really interesting trend line. So this one spiked probably way back before COVID.
Yeah, it was before COVID. This is between December 15 and June 16.
Which was the announcement of the Justice League of America.
Was it the Snyder Cut thing, or,
Yeah, around that time, right?
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So
it's peaked, but it's held up here, hasn't it? It hasn't gone back down here.
Yeah. It's on a new trend line, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, this book, I think the census is really low, like around 1,000.
Yes, it's copies. It is quite rare. Yeah, well, 1,500. Yeah, about the same as the last one we looked at.
Well, no, not the same as AF-15.
No, but the last one we checked this out. What was the one? It was the
Fantastic Four 3.
Yeah.
So this is, but that's a low census count. Usually in the Silver Age, you're looking at 3,000 to 5,000 range for a big book.
Yeah.
So this is low. I mean, DC is generally low anyways, but
yeah, and Brave and the Bold wasn't that big a set. What was probably issue 27 was Cave Carson or something. So what was issue 27? It was a Suicide Squad. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I mean, yeah, this is not going to have huge sales probably.
No.
But yeah, I mean, it's a cool book though. I always liked this book. I have a raw 1.8 based on my comic shop's grading. I'd love to get it graded. So this is, I don't know, I always like this book. It's the first time actually that Aquaman appears on the cover.
Yes, you've told me that. Yes, I have used that in a trivia quiz a couple of times.
And it's also the first time we get Martian Manhunter on the cover.
Is it? Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was just
the other cool bonus about this book. So
First Starro on a cover. Well, it's the first Starro.
first Starro, and first Starro appearance too.
Yeah, yeah.
And actually, Starro is a pretty cool character.
He is.
I like the
Very
fact
cool
he
character.
can do
He's a
brain
great
control
villain.
and stuff.
He has been used quite a few times recently. He didn't appear. They didn't use him again after this for about 20 years.
Yeah.
But he has been used significantly in the last 10 years.
Because he's a cool character.
Yeah. Well, it's all the little Starros that stick to your face that makes him cool.
Yeah. Kind of like a good way to have sort of a zombie army.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I don't like that copy.
Start.
It's horrible. I would not buy that.
Yes, I think that's maybe why this sold. I would have expected around $1,400 sale.
Yeah.
Would have been in line, but yeah, this is pretty rough.
Okay. Right. Next up, what was
this one is where you get upset.
This is where I'm going to start getting excited, isn't it? Right. Yes, it is. Okay. So this is a beautiful look at this. I have to tell you, if I had seen this, Alan, I would have bid for this. I would have paid more than that for this. Right. I'm amazed at this. I would have paid significantly more. Right.
So this is Fantastic Four.
Crazy low price. Okay.
Yeah.
This is a Fantastic Four, number 6 in 7.5 with Doctor Doom on the cover, Namor.
Yeah, first team up of the baddies.
The first team up of these two. But not only that, guys, do you know how rare this is?
It's insanely rare.
The CGC census for this. Okay.
Yeah.
So Fantastic Four number 6 in a 7.5. There are total graded on the CGC census 1,604 US.
Which is actually low even for the regular version.
Yeah, and 7.5's US versions, there are 54, right? UK versions, there are 28 total in the world. Okay. So this is for every 100, there's 2 of these for every 100 of these, right? And not only that, this 7.5 is the second highest graded UK, right? Now, which of these should sell for more? The one in 28 or one in 1,600? And which
it's just insane. This is like, to me, a major steal.
The one in 3. Right, let's go and see what this sold for compared to what the American one sells for. Right, this is me getting on a rant. Right, so Fantastic Four number 6 in a 7.5. If it was a US version, it would sell for 3,500, and it's just sold for 1,500.
Yeah,
that is.
This was a huge steal.
The last American, one of a US price one sold for $2,000 less, and it is at least 50 to 60 times rarer.
Yeah,
it makes
totally doesn't make sense.
American comic buyers, are you completely flipping nuts? This is ridiculous. This is 50 to 60 times rarer. And you're valuing it at less than half the price of the dollar version.
Doesn't make any sense at all.
You're all Trump voters. That's all I can reckon. Sorry. I apologize to my American friends. Some of you are quite nice. But those of you who do not recognize the value of the UK price variance on comics deserve to have your bottom spanked. Right.
Yeah. If this was a Canadian price variant, if there was such a thing,
it would have sold for $1 then, doesn't it? So they like dollars.
They like the little dollar sign.
They like the little dollar sign. That's the only difference here. So
what's a D? What's a D? I'm too confused.
Because that has 10D instead of 12C, you're paying $2,000 less. If I'd seen this, Alan, I'd have bought this.
I know, this is such a steal. Such a steal.
This
is like I think my copy is like a 1.8 or 2.0, and it was like close to 1,000. Just insane. Just insane. This is a really, really big steal.
What's even worse is I didn't buy it. Because
well, you didn't know.
I didn't know. I didn't know. I'd have definitely bought this if I'd known this. This is because I'm a Fantastic Four collector. I didn't think I'd ever be able to get one of these. I would have been able to get it at that price. I'm now going to keep my eyes open. So, Americans, please go and put your pence copies up for sale at half the price of the US versions, so I can buy them. Dear,
Yeah,
dear.
I was surprised. Next one is another surprise.
Oh, it's almost as bad. Right.
Yeah.
Next one. Fantastic Four 7.0. And this is the first Doctor Doom. And
first Doctor Doom, another pence copy.
It's a 9D. We have a 9D copy for 10,800. Oh, that's not so bad, you say. Well, it is bad because what does the US one sell for at 7.0? It sells for 20,000.
Yeah, so it's almost like you can take the US price, chop it in half, and you get the UK price.
And this is only happening on these blue chips. It doesn't happen at lower levels. At lower levels, the UK price, the UK ones are getting similar prices, but this is ridiculous. Why on earth? The fact that it says 9D instead of whatever it is, 10C, that is crazy. And I've also looked at the census for this one, Alan.
Okay, how bad is it?
Right, so there are 1,830. I think that says, I've got the glasses off. Yeah, 1,830 US ones. What was this? A 7.0, and there are 74 7.0s. UK, 45.
Wow.
45.
Wow.
And in a 7.0, there's only one higher graded. It is the second highest graded UK copy.
That's so insane.
And so would you rather have one of one or one of 74? I'll go for the one of one, especially if you're going to charge me half what you would charge me for the one in 74s. I mean, this just absolutely makes no flipping sense whatsoever.
And actually, if you look at the colors, again, this is something I do mention to people on the UK price variants. They are so much better looking. They present way better than the US versions.
Yeah. Well, and I'll tell you, I've explained my theory on this, Alan. People say it's because they were the first on the press. I don't think that's right.
That's why I thought.
Well, I don't think that's right. They didn't just have one press running. They had a number of presses running. I think it's because as you run this type,
the colors kind of fade over time.
Lithographic. So as the run goes on, the plate wears. Yeah, and the longer the run, the more plate wear you get. As the plate wears, you get less color coverage. So what I think it is because the UK run was much shorter, you never got any
that wear.
You didn't get the wear. So whereas on the US ones, I think the runs are much longer, and therefore in some of the copies you get more wear and less print coverage. You can see it. I've got American versions where I've got two very different sets of colors. I think it's because one was at the start of the run and one was later in the run. So I think the generalization that the UK are better colors is probably true, but I think it's due to the fact that the print runs were lower and you didn't get plate wear, rather than the fact they were first on the press, because there wasn't just one press. There was.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. But every time I see a pence copy, it's always like that, just a little bit sharper, just a little bit more bright.
Yeah,
I find.
Yeah, because there would have been its short print run, and therefore the plates were fresh.
But yeah, this one, both of these sales, man, like just like so undervalued. My rule of thumb with UK price variants has always been 60% of the US version. These were 50%, which I thought was shocking.
Yeah, really poor. And on Fantastic Four as well, which is what I collect. Right, I'm really annoyed now. So let's move on quickly before I implode. So this next one is going to cheer me up. So you have put me a cheer up one in here.
Yeah.
Right.
This one I thought was really cool.
Yeah. Star Trek 5. It looks like a really nice copy, I have to say. It looks better than the 5.
Yeah, it's a nice looking copy. First appearance of Star Trek in comics, so
Yeah,
Star Trek #1.
yeah,
Good cover appearance too. It's like got all the kind of major characters except McCoy.
yeah,
But it has the Enterprise, it has Spock, it has Sulu, and Captain Kirk. So
yeah. And it's got a great back cover as well.
yeah, yeah, it's a full on image of uh, uh,
So you get a poster
William
on the back
Shatner.
of this one. There you go.
Just a
The
great.
Shat, the Shat. There he is. He looks as if he's
Mhm.
about to sing something, which is not advisable if you've ever
Yeah,
heard
yeah, he looks like he's doing karaoke or something, isn't it? Lounge singer look.
it.
Um, so yeah, but
Brilliant.
just great cover.
It is a great cover. And one of my better investments. So when I first got back into comics again, one of my first things I purchased was a Star Trek 150 signed by William Shatner. And
Hmm.
I paid $600 for it, which is now $1,400 because this comic has been going up.
Yeah, it's been really recovering.
So if you
It
look at,
was down for a while. In a weird way, it was down during the COVID bump. Like what, um,
there you go.
yeah,
500 yet, so it's gone just for a bit more than that, so it's nearly reaching.
nearly. Yeah.
And I've got the signature version of a 50. um yeah, I paid.
And it's like that's actually not even had any kind of like drop.
Yeah, I paid 600 around here.
Hmm.
It's now at 1,400.
Nice.
Yeah, so yeah, I like this. So that's calmed me down a bit, Alan. It's calmed me down a bit.
And then actually look at the census count, it's quite low. It's
Yeah,
only
it's not.
1,200.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. How
I
many
would have
people
thought there was more of these, but
have
it's
issue
just
one? Yeah, yeah. um and I mean, I joke there's as many signed as there is unsigned, but it's not quite true.
yeah. But William Shatner does do a lot of signings. He's
He
at
does.
every convention that I know. So um
Um,
yeah.
yeah,
But I love this book. This is one of my grails actually.
yeah. Have you watched the latest Star Trek stuff?
No, I haven't. I heard good things about the
Yeah, it's
last
very good. I
season
enjoyed it.
of
Yeah,
Picard.
yeah, yeah. It's back to episodic. It's about, it's hope. You feel good after watching it. You know,
Hmm.
there's some actual male characters that actually
That are male.
are male. Not every single male character is evil. Um,
Oh, that's good. So
including
that's cool.
including Captain Pike. Um,
Okay.
yeah, so yeah,
I have to watch it. I was sort of disheartened so long from it. So
and the last season, I know you didn't like the first two seasons of Picard, but the last season of Picard has got cracking views. I've watched the first two episodes and really good.
I heard, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I heard really good things about it, but
Yeah.
haven't had a chance to watch it yet.
So, but Star Trek is on the up and up, guys.
Hmm.
Watch out, Star Wars, which I suspect is going to be down because
Yeah, I imagine.
nobody
I should have
likes it.
put it on the list, but there was no sales. So
Having said that, whatnot, every time I put my Star Wars comics up, they sell. Right.
hmm.
What do we got next? Last one. This is not a UK price variant. This
This was a
is.
big sale, and actually, I just missed out on this book. I actually could have won it on the weekend or the yesterday.
You could have had that Brave and the Bold 1.5 for that price.
Yeah, well, there was a copy that was like maybe a 2.0. It sold really low actually, and just because I forgot to put my bid in. Um, but it sold for 200 and something.
I've never seen this cover before. I quite like it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've never
This is the
seen
first appearance of Mr. Element.
Mr. Element. Okay, I have
Yeah,
up
and
to
it's
now I have not
it's
seen this
also
cover. I quite like it. I like the
yeah early
blue.
appearance of the new Silver Age Flash too. I think it's the third appearance of
It's
the
his
Silver
third
Age Flash.
appearance. Yes, it's his third appearance.
So kind of a big book for those two reasons.
So
Um,
let's have a look at this one. So 5-0 for not
this
showcase.
was a good sale. I think this was a record, which is a good sign, right?
Yeah, that's it there. Yes, so it is a record. Yes. But
Hmm.
Flash is on a high because the movie was good.
Did you watch it?
No, I didn't get to see it last week. I was really busy.
So you know what's funny? I was watching Comic Tom, and he hated it. He didn't like the movie at all. I
Really?
think he's very influenced by the fact that he's upset with Ezra Miller, and Ezra Miller isn't really playing the Flash in a lot of ways. Like he's not the typical Flash from the comics. You know, it's sort of Ezra Miller Flash. You know what I mean? Like it's a little bit of a variant of Flash, but I still thought it was a great movie.
Look,
I
they're
still enjoyed it.
actors. You've got to separate the actor from the person. I mean, a different,
That's my thought too.
you know.
And actually, you know what's funny? My wife, she hates comic movies, but she watched The Flash and
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
Really? Okay.
So that's pretty good sign.
How did you manage to get her to go and see it?
Actually, my son, it was his birthday,
All right.
so he forced her to watch. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah,
but
that's good.
this one, look at the census count on this book; it's really low.
Oh, goodness. It is really low. No wonder I've never seen one.
Yeah,
254. Yeah.
yeah, that's really low.
I think this
That's
one's gonna
almost golden age level of
this is
rarity.
this one's gonna go up. That's only 254 of those. That's really low.
Yeah, and only 214 universal.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I just thought it was an interesting book. Big sale. It's nice to see a record sale for once, like a true record, I should say.
I think we had one
Yeah,
last week, and it was on the Flash as well. We had it last week on Showcase 4.
yeah. I think what's happening is there are like I think people agree with my assessment that was a good movie, and yeah, I think people are going checking out these Flash books,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Although from what I hear, the main attraction was Michael Keaton as Batman. But yeah.
but you know the funny thing is there was a scene with the Flash and Ezra Miller that I thought was the scene that made the movie.
Okay.
Like really gave heart to the whole character. So yeah, I thought so. I don't know. I enjoyed it.
Okay. Great. Well,
I'd
it's
love to hear your review of it. So you got
yes.
to check it out.
I hope to get next week. We will see. Right.
Okay,
There we go. I think that's it, Alan.
that's it for this week.
Good way of raising my blood pressure.
Well, when I saw the UK sales, I was like, oh, okay, Mark will enjoy these. Well, maybe not.
This will set Mark off onto a rant. Okay. Which it did. But the Star Trek one sort of acted as a sort of blood pressure normalizer.
Yeah.
But that was okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, fans. That is it for this week. That's your lot. See you again soon.